Listen up. The last time that I talked to Dad, he sounded strange.
Oh, Allison, please.
Strange how?
He told me I should be careful who to trust.
Your character she has a lot of things to face in order to do this war. Number one, she's looking for custody of her children. That kind of makes her a little bit vulnerable.
Oh, yeah.
So how did you build that into your performance?
I think for Allison, she compartmentalizes things. I think she tries to put things in boxes in her life and take them out one by one as she can handle them, because I think if she actually laid them all out on the table, she'd be overwhelmed. And so I think when she comes home to the Umbrella Academy for the funeral of their father, I think she kind of knows what's happening in her other life. She is going through divorce and she has officially lost custody of her daughter. And so I think that's she's kind of put a bookmark in that, because that is now officially out of her control. And so I think she can only do so much to challenge that and then to change that. And so I think she's now looking at a situation where she's like, okay, I'm here now. I haven't seen any of these people in 12 years. Some of us aren't talking. Some of us are just out of rehab. Some of us have serious like mental health issues. Like we all
we do,
to be completely honest, And so I think she which is why I think she hones in on the Leonard Peabody storyline and trying to find a sisterhood with Vanya that she never had growing up, because I think because she has such a huge regret with her life that she's now created outside of the Umbrella Academy, I think she's trying to rebuild bridges that she knocked down as a child, and sometimes unknowingly. I don't think she intentionally was mean to Vanya. I don't think she knew the damage that their father and the rest of the siblings were doing to her growing up, but I think they were told not to by their father, so they didn't. And so I think that is a huge regret. So I think that is why she's like, okay, this is a thing I can fix, because I can't fix what's happening in my other life. Yeah.
This is what's so great and unique about this show, is that all of these characters are really well defined with stories, backstories, and these future stories, and the moment dealing with being reunited again. That's a lot. That's very dense.
Oh, yeah.
So now your character, he's had his problems.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Yeah, well, he has. He's struggling with a lot, really. I mean, the thing is with Luther, he was, Allison was kind of like the poster girl of the Umbrella Academy when they were younger, and I suppose Luther was being the leader. He was a stereotypical, sort of strapping young man, a superhero with super strength, and he got, he was able to go to the moon and stuff, and he just had everything going for him in a lot of ways. And he had this great relationship with their dad that none of the others had. So he was almost like this privileged kid. And then something happened where everything changed for him, and he was completely damaged, and it was no longer the boy that he was, the man that he was. And he now has to live in this body that he hates and tries to cover up. And there's a lot to relate to, like, body dysmorphia and stuff with Luther.
For men.
Massively. I come from a background of a lot of gym training, working out and stuff, and I've known a lot of men that have struggled with that. On the outside, you go, wow, what a powerful dude, like how so massive, and actually internally they feel very differently. They feel incredibly small and like they're worthless. And I try to draw a lot of that to Luther, because that's kind of what he feels like.
Yes, because there's something really reflective about him, and you sense the struggle in a way.
Yeah.
So well done on that.
Thank you.
Very
Thanks.
good. Yeah. I love the dance off.
Yeah, it's great, right? So did we. We loved doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was so fun.
Honestly, that was the most rousing thing. And in all the darkness that the characters face.
It's in the perfect spot where you just need like a little break from all the dense talking.
You're just not expecting it, It's just
not expecting it.
No.
And it doesn't just do for a couple of minutes. It's
yeah.
It goes,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the way it goes.
And the perfect song as well, I think, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about working in the Massey Mansion as your home, as the Umbrella Academy. I mean, it looks pretty good. How tarted up was it?
Oh, man, that set is incredible.
yeah.
We shot on a camera called the Alexa 65, right? And that's what kind of gives the show that amazing sort of filmic look.
The Goldie.
Yeah, well, the camera is
sunset, golden hour.
Yeah,
That's what
well,
it
yeah,
looked like.
that's a certain time of day that they use. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the camera itself, it picks up everything. So the attention to detail on the set had to be
Yeah.
so good, and they absolutely nailed it. You know,
Yeah.
along with
Stunning.
With
You
our
forget that you're on a set.
Yeah, it's
when
incredible.
you're in there, it feels like there's an entire house around you as well. And then you like take 2 steps off and you're just like in a giant warehouse.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, right.
and a lot of it carries on. You know, a lot of it, the way it's
Yeah.
built, it's almost built like an entire house. So you can follow it up the stairs, and it will carry on round onto the balcony. So it's not like
Yeah.
just multiple different sets. There
Yeah.
are multiple different ones, but there's ones that just carry on through.
Yeah.
You know, there's been so much put into this series. You can tell there's a lot of money, a lot of thought, a lot of talent. Thank goodness it's good.
Oh well, that's huge for us because the thing is,
yeah.
it's like it was a massive pressure because on the page, it was so well written and Netflix had such high hopes for the show that we were all like, we have to deliver, like we have to bring our A game
Yes.
because this show is too good to let down.
Yeah.
So I think and then across the board, I mean, the crew
Yeah.
worked crazy hours here in Toronto to
We
make
had
this show
them
good.
in the snow, the rain,
The crew are
heat,
unbelievable here. It's
in
incredible.
unbelievable situations, and they were along for the ride with us. Just
So much passion.
So much, yeah.
They lived it.
You could tell that they were just, and this is a crew that like they have. If a show or a movie has come through Toronto, they have all worked on it at some
See,
point.
that's the thing,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so for them to be like, you guys, this show is really special. It's like that means they're not just saying that because 1, they don't have to, and 2, they know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Done it all,
it just
yeah.
was really wonderful to have such a respected, amazing, talented group of people just kind of behind the camera taking care of
Well,
us.
we've been doing the Americans' work for what, 30 years now.
It's amazing. It really is.
You guys work hard, you're
Yeah.
workhorses.
Yeah, that's for sure. You and Ellen's character, Vanya, you're the women, and you are more openly caring and tender than the men.
Yeah.
I found that really interesting.
Yeah. I think he's a little softy. I think his
Yeah.
appearance is a little like you're like, is he? I don't know. But I think I think this sister storyline is kind of we are in theory because the Luther Allison storyline, we don't have to make amends because there's like an energy there because we don't really know
What this
like
is.
the je ne sais quoi that energy is, but I think the Vanya Allison storyline, we are the two that are actively trying to become a family again, to create a relationship that didn't exist, and so I think that kind of demands an openness and a compassion and a passion and a lot of forgiveness and so I think because that is, Steve wanted the sisters to make amends for years and years and years of a lack of a relationship. I think it, unknowingly kind of turned into the emotional crux of the show.
Yes, indeed. And great music, too. Thank you
Oh
so
my gosh,
much, both of
yeah,
you.
thank
And we'll
you.
see you for the next season.
Yes,
Thank you.
fingers
Thanks very
crossed.
much.
Thank you.
So glad you enjoyed it.